Hi, I am Emma Hayes, a Texas girl who want to share one of my unforgettable journeys of relationship journey of love's lies and God-give opportunity to meet the men that unlikely fall in love with Liam. I spend one night with these men and not meet him again. Do I still able to meet him? Do I still believe second chances? I was always the kind of girl who saw the world in color. Raised in a small town just outside Austin, Texas, she was full of life, ambition, and a soft heart that often left her vulnerable. Her father, a high school football coach, was strict but fair. Her mother ran a small cafe that Emma often helped in during high school. Emma was an honor student, a painter at heart, and had just graduated with a degree in graphic design. Liam Carter, on the other hand, was the kind of guy who made things happen. Raised in Houston, he came from a modest background and clawed his way into an Ivy League scholarship. He had a sharp mind for numbers and an even sharper instinct for success. He and Emma went to the same university, but in different majors. Their paths only crossed a few times, at parties, in passing, mutual friends. Emma always remembered him for his intense eyes and polite charm, though they were never close. That changed one humid May evening. It was a graduation after-party at a rooftop bar in downtown Austin. The drinks were flowing, laughter filled the air, and everyone was buzzing with excitement. Emma had come with a few friends, intending only to stay for a short while. Liam was there celebrating too, his bags already packed for a summer internship in New York, before starting grad school in finance. They bumped into each other by the bar. She spilled her drink on his sleeve. He laughed. "Guess I needed a cold one," he said, smiling. One drink turned into two. Two into more. They talked about their dreams, how they both felt stuck in places they wanted to leave, and what they feared most. Emma feared being forgotten. Liam feared failing after coming so far. There was something magnetic about that night. Under the stars and soft glow of string lights, they kissed. Then came one hotel room full of heat, nerves, and the boldness of youth. A night neither of them planned, nor would forget. By morning, he was gone, leaving only a short note with his number, a rushed goodbye, and a promise to stay in touch. Emma never expected to see him again. She didn't know that one night would change everything. When the nausea started weeks later, Emma thought it was stress. She was job hunting, juggling freelance gigs, and staying with her parents while trying to move to Dallas for a design internship. The pregnancy test changed everything. The first person she told was her best friend, Maya. The second was her mother. Her father overheard through the walls. "You're smarter than this, Emma," he'd said, voice trembling more with disappointment than anger. Her mother cried, not because Emma was pregnant, but because she knew how hard the road ahead would be. Emma tried to reach Liam. Dozens of calls, emails, social media messages. All went unanswered. She had a choice: terminate or continue. After days of soul-searching, she chose to keep the baby. Her parents were angry at first, especially her father. But when Emma started showing, something changed. Her mother began knitting baby clothes. Her father built a crib from scratch in the garage. Still, it was far from easy. Emma worked two part-time remote jobs, one designing logos for a startup, another proofreading marketing copy, to scrape by. She experienced every emotion from dread to determination. Hormones raged. Isolation set in. Then came the birth. It was a long, grueling labor. Her parents were there. Maya was too. When Sophie finally arrived, tiny, red-faced, and crying, Emma felt both pain and peace. But Sophie was born with jaundice and had trouble feeding. The first few weeks were a whirlwind of hospital visits, sleepless nights, and relentless fear. Emma stayed up at night watching her baby breathe, terrified something would go wrong. When Sophie turned 6 months, things began to stabilize. She had bright brown eyes, the same dimple as Liam when she smiled, and a way of grabbing Emma's finger that melted every ache in her bones. Emma began vlogging Sophie's milestones: her first laugh, her first crawl, her tiny voice calling out "Mama." They weren't just memories. They were evidence that they had made it. By year 2, Emma had grown into motherhood. Tired but strong, she built a life around Sophie. A quiet apartment, afternoon walks in the park, birthday cupcakes baked from scratch. Her parents, especially her father, softened into grandparents who adored their granddaughter. Sophie had been born into struggle, but she was loved, fiercely. Liam's life was a contrast in every way. New York City swallowed him whole: internships at JP Morgan, networking events, grad school, endless nights fueled by ambition and coffee. He never saw Emma's messages. He had changed phones, accounts, everything in a swift, clean break from his Texas past. He told himself he was focused, building something, winning. He dated models, consultants, other finance prodigies. Nothing stuck. He buried himself in work, eventually becoming a VP at a mid-size investment firm by the time he was 28. He had the apartment with skyline views, the expensive suits, the custom watch. But sometimes, in the quiet hours between flights and board meetings, he thought about Austin, about a girl he danced with once, about what might have been. He never told anyone about that night, not because it meant nothing, but because it meant too much. Emma, meanwhile, became a respected freelancer in the startup space. Her clients praised her creativity, her calm under pressure. She rarely took vacations, and every spare dollar went into savings or Sophie's education fund. Sophie was now 5. Curious, bright, and full of questions. She loved puzzles and bedtime stories. She once asked Emma why her daddy didn't come to her birthday party. Emma just hugged her and said, "Some daddies don't know how special their little girls are." Emma never dated seriously. She didn't have time. Her love was reserved for Sophie and the tiny family they had built together. They both assumed the other had moved on, until fate brought them back into each other's orbit, 5 years later. 5 years had passed. Emma, now an accomplished freelance designer, had brought Sophie to Dallas for a weekend design expo. As they wandered through a pop-up art gallery, Emma spotted him. Liam! He was taller than she remembered, more refined. In a sleek navy suit, chatting with a group of colleagues. His laughter caught her off guard. Emma tried to turn away, but Sophie, curious and playful, darted toward a table of cookies near Liam's booth. The two of them turned at the same time. Their eyes met. Liam's smile froze, then shifted into something unreadable. Emma's heart pounded. She whispered, "Sophie, come here." Liam's gaze shifted to the child. Sophie looked up at him. Her eyes, her dimple, something clicked. Emma quickly walked away, not wanting a scene. But Liam watched, puzzled. He felt a strange tug in his chest. All weekend, Emma tried to avoid him, but twice more they crossed paths, once in a panel discussion where Emma gave a talk on branding. Liam sat quietly in the audience, and again in a coffee shop where Liam caught her by the door. "Emma?" She turned stiff. "Hi, Liam. Was that your daughter?" Emma nodded slowly. "Yes. She looks like me." Emma didn't answer. "I have questions," he said, voice cracking. "I know," she said, "but I'm not sure you're ready for the answers." And with that, she walked away again, leaving Liam stunned, confused, and more desperate than ever to uncover the truth. Liam couldn't shake the image of Emma and the little girl from his mind. Sophie. He heard Emma call her that just before they disappeared into the crowd. Sophie. It echoed in his head. The girl's eyes, her smile. It was like looking into a mirror of his younger self. He did something he hadn't done in years. He looked Emma up. Her website popped up immediately. Hyper creative. Her portfolio was impressive. Even more striking were the vlogs she occasionally posted about single motherhood and building a freelance career. One video had Sophie in it. Bright eyes, curly brown hair, a laugh that hit Liam like a thunderclap. Was she his? He was stunned, angry, sad, and confused. Why hadn't Emma told him? But then, had he ever given her the chance? The anger quickly turned inward. Ava, Liam's girlfriend of nearly 2 years, noticed his distraction. She was a glamorous investment analyst, polished, intelligent, and fiercely ambitious. But she wasn't Emma. "What's going on with you?" she asked one night over dinner. Liam brushed it off. "Just work." But Ava wasn't convinced. She began snooping, casually checking his browser history and noticing the frequency of searches for Emma Hayes. She grew suspicious. Days later, Ava made a fake account and messaged Emma under the guise of a marketing client, asking to meet. Emma responded politely, always professional. Ava's jealousy festered into something darker. She decided to intervene. The next time Liam brought up the topic of children in general, Ava played it cool. "Would you even want kids?" she asked, fishing. Liam hesitated, then said, "I might already have one." It was the first time he voiced the suspicion aloud. Ava was stunned. The pieces started falling into place. That night, she called in a favor from a friend in legal. If Sophie was Liam's, Ava was going to make sure he never got close to her. Ava intercepted Emma again. This time, in person. She showed up at Emma's co-working space, posing as a potential investor in a branding project. Emma welcomed her with warmth and hospitality. "I've heard about you," Ava said with a tight smile. "You're impressive." Emma nodded slowly, sensing something was off. "You and Liam go back, huh?" Ava asked casually. Emma froze. "Excuse me? I mean, it's been what? 5 years since that little college hookup? And now you're a single mom. Interesting coincidence." Emma's jaw tightened. "If you came here to insult me—" "Oh, I came here to warn you," Ava interrupted, her voice cold. "Liam's happy. He's got a future. Don't drag him into yours. He doesn't need this kind of complication." Emma stood up, her voice low but fierce. "You don't get to decide what Liam needs." Ava left, smiling triumphantly. But the encounter left Emma shaken. Back at home, Sophie was coloring a picture of her and Mommy holding hands under a rainbow. Emma tucked her in with a forced smile, her heart heavy. Meanwhile, Liam finally confronted the truth. He watched the vlog of Sophie's 5th birthday again and noticed the birthmark on her left shoulder, just like his. He called Emma. She didn't answer. He called again, left a voicemail. Then another. Finally, Emma picked up. Her voice was cautious. "Liam, I need to know, is she mine?" Silence. "Yes," Emma whispered. "She's yours." Liam sat down, the world spinning around him. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I tried. You disappeared. Changed everything. I thought you didn't care." He breathed heavily. "I didn't know, Emma. I would have come back." "But you didn't," she said. "And now, after all these years, you think you can just walk in?" He paused. "I don't know what I want yet, but I know I need to meet her." Emma hesitated. "She's not just a moment, Liam. She's a life. My life. If you want to be in it, it's all or nothing." And with that, the line went dead. It took Emma a week to reply to Liam's last message. She had to process it all. The pain, the regret, the memories. She stared at her phone for hours before finally typing, "We're moving to Austin next month. If you're serious about being in Sophie's life, you'll meet us there." Liam stared at the message in his office, heart thundering. He didn't hesitate. He booked a transfer request the same day. New York had given him everything: his career, his wealth, his prestige. But now all of that felt hollow. What he wanted was a family, a second chance. Austin was bright, a city of warmth and charm, so different from the cold steel of Manhattan. Liam met them in a quiet park on a Sunday morning. Sophie ran ahead, giggling with her butterfly backpack bouncing with each step. She stopped in front of him and stared. "You're Mr. Liam?" she asked, tilting her head. He crouched down. "Yeah, and I might be your dad." Sophie blinked, then looked over at Emma, who nodded, her eyes glistening. "Okay," Sophie said, and threw her arms around him. Liam held her close. It felt like something broken in him had finally been restored. The transition wasn't easy. Liam had to learn how to parent, how to braid hair, how to pack snacks, how to respond to midnight fears. Emma watched him struggle and grow, offering gentle corrections and quiet encouragement. Their new home was a modest craftsman house nestled in a tree-lined neighborhood. Emma had painted Sophie's room with stars and constellations. Liam added glow-in-the-dark stickers to the ceiling. At first, they were co-parents, but somewhere between school pickups and bedtime stories, laughter returned. The silences weren't heavy anymore. They were filled with comfort. One night, after putting Sophie to sleep, they sat on the porch with tea in hand. "She's incredible," Liam said, his voice raw. "You've done an amazing job." Emma looked down. "I was angry for a long time, but watching you with her, I think maybe we all needed time to grow." He reached for her hand. "I never stopped thinking about you." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. "Neither did I." And there, beneath the quiet Texas stars, they kissed. Not with urgency, but with understanding, with forgiveness. 3 months later, Sophie stood between them in a photo taken at her school's family picnic. Emma smiling brightly, Liam grinning proudly, Sophie with frosting on her nose. They had started over, together. 5 years later, the sun shone brightly over the white wooden gazebo in the heart of Zilker Park, where a small gathering of family and close friends cheered as Sophie tossed rose petals along a grassy aisle. Emma walked down moments later, wearing a flowing lace gown, her eyes locked with Liam's. He waited beneath the canopy, hands trembling, not from nerves, but from the weight of how far they had come. Liam had grown into fatherhood in every sense: school projects, Sunday pancakes, scraped knees, and bedtime stories. Sophie had flourished into a curious, confident little girl, her drawings proudly taped all over Liam's once sterile home office. He'd chosen Austin permanently, building a life that finally felt like home. Emma thrived too. Her business expanded, landing clients across the state. She was more than a survivor now. She was a creator, a mother, a woman who had loved, lost, and loved again. The ceremony was short, heartfelt. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, Sophie squealed, "Now we're really a family!" And everyone laughed through happy tears. Later that evening, as the three of them danced under twinkling lights, Emma leaned into Liam. "Did you ever imagine this?" she asked. "Every day since I met you," he whispered. The music swelled, and the past, the heartbreak, the distance, the years of silence, faded beneath the rhythm of second chances. And this time, they were writing the story together.